She said she was feeling like the Marshmallow Man, and now she came back and she said goodbye to Puffy.
Introducing the Perimenopause Bliss Podcast, a show dedicated to unraveling the mysteries of achieving optimal health naturally as you transition into perimenopause and menopause. Get ready to join your host, Dr. Seth Yates, an experienced naturopathic doctor, acupuncturist, and kinesiologist, as he shares his wealth of knowledge acquired from over 40,000 patient visits and 15 years in working with perimenopausal females. Welcome to the Perimenopause Bliss Podcast.
Hey, this is Doc Yates. Welcome to the Perimenopause Bliss Podcast, brought to you by perimenopausebliss.com. And today I want to discuss the importance of doing things in balance to get balance. This was another one of those, a classic case where someone had been complaining about hormone issues to their doctor. Their doctor started off by recommending an antidepressant, to which the person declined and said, I don't want to do an antidepressant. This is clearly my hormones. The client had been educating themselves. They knew that the symptoms were changing. They knew what stages they were in perimenopause. So the doctor obliged them and prescribed them estrogen and birth control. And that's pretty much what they had them on for about 6 months before they came in to see me. And they're like, I can't understand it. I'm trying hormone treatments. They're not working. Things are getting worse. And I was like, oh, well, that's kind of weird. Because normally, if someone's on bioidentical hormones and they're balanced, it's pretty rare for things to be getting worse. So I asked to see what they're on. And they showed me estrogen and birth control. And this is not menopause. This is perimenopause. So if you've paid, this is almost like a quiz episode. If you've paid attention to my other episodes before, what is wrong with that picture? With that prescription? The problem is that the person was never tested. They were already estrogen dominant, and then the doctor gave them more estrogen, and then they gave birth control, which binds to the progesterone receptors but blocks them. So they just push the estrogen dominance level over the top, way over the top. So when they came in, the client was concerned with, despite the fact that they were doing things to balance their hormones, weight gain was getting way worse. And they didn't understand why the weight gain was getting worse when they heard that balancing the hormones was supposed to make it better. A lot of water retention. Like, even when they came to see me, very puffy even in their hands, ankles. I believe the term cankle was thrown out there by the client. Worse mood, feeling very down and teary. But then alternating with irritability getting way worse. Way worse. And this is something that was not the case before. They had sleep disturbances and they weren't getting any better. And brain fog, which was actually getting worse. Now that one I'll give. Sometimes estrogen levels I will see play a role in improving brain fog. But that is when the person is deficient in estrogen and you bring it back up. If someone already has adequate or high estrogen and you push it higher and block progesterone, you don't usually see any benefits. So when you see those types of symptoms, and if you're in perimenopause, as a general rule, when someone still has a regular cycle, estrogen's not really on the table for a prescription yet. As a general rule. Now, once in a while, if someone has a regular cycle but they're getting symptoms of a lot of vaginal dryness or discomfort, then localized treatments, usually of E3 cream, typically only twice a week, and then you use like more of a natural, I have a lot of clients use a hyaluronic acid vitamin E mix lubricant that they can get it. It doesn't have to be compounded, but a lot of pharmacies carry that, and then they use that on the off days, and that works great. But in terms of general, more systemic treatments and higher doses for bioidentical hormones, you're not doing estrogen for that. Not when they have a regular cycle. But you're definitely wondering about progesterone. The moment anyone's, for me, especially if they're mid-40s and later, and obviously sometimes it's earlier than that, sometimes it's a little bit later, but pretty much always by the time someone's 45, I'm usually seeing low progesterone and corresponding signs of low progesterone. And just to review some of those signs, we already discussed them. It was weight gain, water retention, mood, sleep disturbances, irritability, and sometimes brain fog. You will see muscle tension, stiffness, joint pain, all of those things. When the client came back in after we had them basically redid everything they were doing and then used progesterone to balance them out, now it's not always this quick. I usually say progesterone, the safe bet is to see a change within a month, but knowing that generally within 14 days or less, this person was within 2 days. They said it was like a switch went off. It was like you flipped a switch, my mood was better, everything was better. I started like peeing out all of this water retention that was going on that was stuck like crazy. So once in a while, you see some cases where it just gets better right away. Generally, I tell people wait till around, give it the 2 weeks for the progesterone to start balancing out. Worst case scenario is about a month. So this today is a little bit less of a topic and more of just kind of going over a case study and making sure that you don't fall into this same trap. Remember, we're discussing perimenopause here, not menopause. In perimenopause, we need to focus on proper progesterone balance with bioidentical progesterone, not synthetic progestins, and then so often using herbal formulas to help the body how it metabolizes estrogen breakdown products. That's the key. This is Doc Yates, signing off.
Thank you for tuning in to the Perimenopause podcast. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and visit perimenopause.com for more valuable information on how you can thrive during your transition through perimenopause. Join our community of like-minded women who are dedicated to achieving optimal health naturally, and stay up to date with the latest tips, tricks, and advice from Dr. Seth Yates. And we'll catch you on the next episode of the Perimenopause podcast.